A shadow falls over the world, a whisper of death travels on the wind, carried on ships and caravans. It starts small, a rumor from the east, but soon it will consume a continent. This is the story of the Black Death, the plague that changed everything. In the mid-14th century, the world was connected like never before. The Silk Road and maritime trade routes were bustling arteries of commerce, carrying silks, spices, and something far more sinister. From the arid plains of Central Asia, a deadly bacterium, Yersinia pestis, began its inexorable march. Hidden in the blood of black rats and carried by the fleas that fed on them, it was an invisible invader. By 1347, it reached the shores of Europe. It arrived at the port of Messina in Sicily, aboard Genoese trading ships. The sailors who staggered ashore were already dying, their bodies covered in black boils. From there, it spread with terrifying speed. Venice, Genoa, Marseille, port by port, city by city, the plague tightened its grip. The medieval world was a perfect breeding ground. Cities were overcrowded, sanitation was non-existent, and people lived in close quarters with the very rats that carried their doom. The symptoms were horrific. High fever, chills, and vomiting were followed by the appearance of buboes, painful, swollen lymph nodes in the groin, armpits, and neck, which turned black as the tissue died. For most, death was agonizing and swift, often coming within days. The scale of the catastrophe was unimaginable. In cities like Florence, so many died that there was no one left to bury them. Bodies were piled in the streets or thrown into mass graves. Chroniclers of the time wrote that the living were barely enough to bury the dead. In the face of this apocalypse, society began to crumble. People abandoned their families, doctors refused to see patients, and priests would not perform last rites. Fear and superstition ran rampant. Some turned to extreme religious devotion, like the flagellants, who whipped themselves in public, hoping to atone for humanity's sins. Medical knowledge of the time was simply no match for the disease. Within just 5 years, the Black Death had swept across Europe, leaving a trail of devastation. It's estimated that between 30 to 60% of Europe's population perished. Some estimates say half the world died. It was a demographic disaster unlike any other in human history. But from the ashes of this tragedy, a new world began to emerge. With so many dead, labor became scarce. This gave peasants and surviving workers unprecedented power. They could demand higher wages and better conditions, leading to the eventual collapse of the old feudal system. The Black Death didn't just kill millions. It shattered the social and economic foundations of medieval Europe, paving the way for the Renaissance and the modern world.